No.
Tigers. Fight. Mike, it's not even a top 1,000 moment all time.
Okay, Tommy, shut the hell up, man.
Mike! Of course, I'm gonna go with the right answer. It's Ryan Eads of the Baltimore Orioles. He's only wore the number 80 for 8 games. He's only one of 2 players.
You know what? No, I'm not gonna take this. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back with episode number 93. We got a great one here today. We're gonna be talking about the ESPYs, maybe be talking about Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Lightning did win the NHL playoffs. The NBA playoffs are still going on as we're recording right now. The Suns have a demanding 2-0 lead over the Bucks. That game 3, is playing tonight on Sunday. Like I said, we're recording a day before, so we don't know that result. But nonetheless, great episode here. If you're new here, smash the subscribe button. You already know how it is. Got to click the subscribe button. We're trying to get 150. Got to get to 200, you know how it is. Connor, Mike, how are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Excited to be here talking about some sports.
There you go.
Got the go of the number. We're on episode 93. Connor, I'm going to start with you. You're excited to talk, so I'll give you the floor first. Go to the number 93.
I wouldn't say I'm excited to talk. You just asked a question. You didn't point towards a certain person. You know what? It's fine. Number 93, I'm going to go with Dwight Freeny, the 7-time Pro Bowler, 1-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time All-Pro, and the Hall of Fame All-2000s team. He played in 218 career games. He had 125 and a half sacks, 299 career tackles, 47 forced fumbles, and a total of 1 defensive touchdown in just his second year. He came right out of the gate, drafted, and was explosive there for Indianapolis, 13 sacks in his rookie year, and then followed it up by 11, and then a career high 16. He was just a great all-around defensive player for the Indianapolis Colts for many years, and then eventually he made a switch to the Chargers for a couple years, and then he was around on a couple teams for a couple one-year deals, but he's known as an Indianapolis Colt, where he was explosive on that defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to go Dwight Freeny here for number 93.
Mike?
That's a good pick there, Connor, but I'm gonna go with John Randall. He was a defensive tackle mainly for the Minnesota Vikings, and then he transferred over to Seattle for his last couple of years in his career. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, Hall of Famer, and he's a part of the Hall of Fame 1990s team. He was one of those defensive tackles that was able to not only stop the run for you, but also rush the passer. And we know the kind of impact that a real pass rushing threat can have from the middle of the defensive line. We see it today with Aaron Donald, and we've seen in the past with John Randall. He's had 9 double-digit sack seasons, 15 and a half being his highest single season mark. Also, 137 and a half sacks for his whole career, along with nearly 500 solo tackles. So he was an absolute beast on that Minnesota defensive line for a while. And I'm going with him for go to number 93.
Mike gives a great case for John Randall, but both great athletes. I'm going to have to go with Dwight Freeny. I think John Randall – I'm going to pull a Tommy here because I think John Randall is a better player, but Dwight Freeny went to Syracuse, so I have to go with Dwight.
Oh, my God.
The Syracuse grad. You know, when comparing these guys, John Randall does have the All-Pro. I think he has 3 more than Dwight Freeny. Same Pro Bowl. Dwight Freeny does have that Super Bowl, but you know me, you know how it is. I don't think Super Bowl is really the justifier of having one player better than the other because it's a team sport. But Connor, he said everything that Connor said about Dwight Freeny. I second that. Other than Connor did not mention he went to Syracuse, so I do want to mention he's a Syracuse grad. I think he's still living in Syracuse, which is pretty cool. And just
obviously
growing up,
Connor didn't mention it. He's a fake Syracuse fan.
yeah, it is what it is, Mike. But you know, growing up, you know about those Syracuse grads, and he was definitely one. Well, and obviously I know about the Syracuse grads. Mike and Connor, they don't really, but you know about the Syracuse grads, and you know Donovan McNabb, those type of guys, Chandler Jones. Dwight Freeny is definitely one that I think about right away. So he's gonna be my go to the number 93. John Randall played for one of the worst teams in the NFL, so that also just took him down a little there. But both great athletes. I can't say any bad things about either of them.
And one thing to mention while we're talking about athletes coming out of school is Tim Lecastro, former Ithaca College bomber, was recently traded to the New York Yankees. So he's back in his home state, being able to play for the New York Yankees, the team that he grew up a fan of. So that's great to see. Just obviously us three are from Ithaca, so talking about college is a little bit feared. I throw that in there. I don't know when else we would have been able to talk about that, but definitely big news there for the Ithaca community.
I feel like you mentioned that last week.
I
don't know.
I
Maybe.
think it happened this past week.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's been playing well for the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, they brought him in as someone who can move quick and be a good defensive glove out there in center field.
All right. Well, there you go. Tim Lecastro on the Yankees. Like I said, we got a great episode for you guys today. Coming up next, we're going to go through the ESPYs. That was on Saturday. We're going to be fixing the ESPY Awards. A lot of bad, obviously it's voting, so like I don't blame it. So, but a lot of bad winners. So we're going to be going through that. Coming up next. Welcome to the 2021 Go Chat ESPYs, presented by Poland Spring Water. We are here with the ESPYs. Now, like I said, they were on Saturday night, but there were a lot of controversial picks, a lot of controversial nominees. I would say so too. I bet you guys would agree with me. Yeah, Mike, ESPN is just, they're the ESPYs are just not what they were as we were kids growing up. That was one of my favorite things to watch, but I didn't watch it this year. And of course, last year we didn't have one, unfortunately, but we're going to be here today to fix the winners. Now we got a few. I think we got around 6 or 7 different of the awards. We're going to be picking our own winner. Now, we could quite possibly agree. I think there was very limited number of great award winners, but we can agree or we could disagree. You don't have to go on the nominee board. You have any type of leeway that you want. You guys ready? Okay.
Start the show.
I feel like we're on Jeopardy again. Okay, we're gonna start with the best MLB player. Connor, I know you love your MLB. I know, of course, we don't have Tommy here, but let's be real. Tommy would pick Aaron Judge or something like that. So I'm gonna ask you, Connor, since you're a big MLB guy, who deserves the best MLB player?
So I have 2 players in mind, and one of them I'm going to save for later. But the one that I'm going to talk about right now is Ronald Acuna Jr. as the best MLB player. He has brought such an electrifying fire to the sport of baseball and has made the game fun to watch again, watching him hit moonshots 440 feet and stroll around the bases. And obviously we saw on Saturday, he went down with a pretty gruesome injury, and Jeff Passan of ESPN actually confirmed that he tore his ACL and he's out for the remainder of the season, 9 to 10 months recovery. So definitely it's going to be tough to see Ronald Acuna not out there on the field for the remainder of the season. The Atlanta Braves are a very good team in a very competitive National League East Division. But we're going to tell, and we're going to notice that fire isn't going to be on that field. It's not going to go unnoticed that Acuna isn't a part of the Major League Baseball for the rest of this season. The way that he brings energy to the ball field every single time he steps out onto that diamond and performs at such a high level, that's why I'm going to say Ronald Acuna Jr. deserves the best MLB player.
Okay, good pick. I will say, to preface this, Ohtani did win the best MLB player according to ESPN voting. Mike?
This is a very difficult question because it's kind of combining the past 2 years, right? Because that's just the way the ESPY's timeline lined up, right? But because of that, I'm going to go with Mookie Betts. Primarily based on his 2020 season. He was the main reason the Dodgers made it as far as they did. He was the main reason the Dodgers I wouldn't say plowed their way through the playoffs, but he was the main reason why they won the World Series in 2020, batting nearly 300 in that season, almost a 600 slugging, 927 OPS plus of 149. I mean, he was absolutely awesome in a small sample space for the Dodgers, and he just elevated his game in the playoffs. Whether it's making diving catches on the right field line or just making the good play, just good at bat after good at bat. Mookie Betts was killing it for the Dodgers, and this year he's not necessarily playing up to his normal standards, but he's still batting 250 with a 360 on base percentage, 458 slugging, OPS plus of 126. So he's still 26% better than the normal Major League Baseball player. So in a down year for him, he's still one of the better players in the league. He's still an all-star. So for me right now, based on his 2020 season, his playoff performance, and his still pretty solid numbers in 2021, it's Mookie Betts.
Good pick. I'm going to go with Trevor Bauer, the Cy Young winner of last year. Obviously combining, like Connor said, or Mike said it, the ESPYs are in July, and usually with an ESPY, you take the performance or the season after July to the next July. So obviously Trevor Bauer's Cy Young winning season with the Cincinnati Reds is in there, and his season so far with the Dodgers. But just how Trevor Bauer came out last year, you could say it was a shortened season, so that just helped him. But he really took over pitching wise, and he had an incredible year. I mean, maybe we could be talking about Jacob deGrom next year winning best MLB player for the year he's having. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Trevor Bauer here. He was in the nominee list. The nominee list alongside Jose Abreu, Corey Seager, and like I said, Shohei Ohtani. Moving to the best NHL player, I'm gonna go to sport that Mike loves. We got the best NHL player, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, Andrei Vasilevsky, and Patrick Kane were in the nominees. Patrick Kane did end up winning that award. Mike, I said Connor. You know why I said Connor, Mike. But Mike, who do you think deserved that win?
It's Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Pure point blank. It's McJesus. I mean, 100 points and 105 points in 56 games. It's over 2 points per game. That hasn't even been done since Wayne Gretzky was around. It's a lot harder to score that amount of points in today's day and age. He's just far and away the best player in the league. It shouldn't have been a competition. Patrick Kane should have been nowhere close to even sniffing this award. No offense, Matt. I know you love Patty Kane, but he's just not on that level right now. And no one else is, to be fair. It's Connor McDavid, just that's it. I don't really have to go too much into it.
He wouldn't even been my second.
No, I don't even think he would be in my top 5.
Okay. I don't know about that. But Connor, are you going to go with Connor?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm not the biggest NHL fan, but anyone who has eyes and can look at a sports screen knows the type of impact that he has on the Edmonton Oilers. And Patrick Kane, he's a very good hockey player. I've used him in NHL, the EA games before. He's very, very good. No, I'm kidding. All jokes aside, I am kidding. But Connor McDavid is a very good player on the ice, and he deserves the award.
Yeah, gonna keep this short and sweet. Connor McDavid did deserve that. Patrick Kane's my favorite player, but I don't think he was second. I would have said Andrei Vasilevsky probably second. Especially if that Stanley Cup that he just won. But short and sweet, Connor McDavid. I don't think there's an argument there. Moving to the NBA, we got the best NBA player that was won by Steph Curry. The nominees were Luka Doncic, Nicole Yokojan, Steph, and Chris Paul, who is in the NBA Finals right now. I'm going to start off, since I get to go first this time. Nikola Jokic deserved that win. I mean, come on. The guy just came off an MVP year. He played every single game. And the numbers he put up were tremendous. So I think it's got to be Jokic. I mean, he was even in the nominees for best male athlete, and Curry wasn't. So I don't understand how that really works, but, it's the ESPYs. So what can you say? Connor,
Well, Jokic did have a very good year, but I'm going to go with another nominee on the board, and that's Luka Doncic. He's become a very big rising star in the NBA, and we've seen such explosive gameplay from such a young star from Slovenia. And he's coming out and he's playing so incredibly well for Dallas. And, a couple of years ago when Dallas made the move to acquire Kristaps Porzingis and they had Rick Carlisle as their head coach, not a lot of people knew exactly what was in store for the Dallas Mavericks. And then here comes Luka Doncic, who they draft point guard, and he lights it up. And Dallas Mavericks are in the playoffs now 2 of the last 3 years. Did they make the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to the Clippers.
Right, they lost to the Clippers, but he hit a buzzer beater in that series there. I remember I was talking to Mike as it happened, and Mike was not very happy because Mike's a closet Clippers fan. But, Luka Doncic is a very impactful NBA player. And while Nikola Jokic is also an incredible basketball player and deserving of the MVP award, I think Luka Doncic is the best NBA player.
Mike, who are you going to go with?
I'm going to take Jokic. I think this year combined with the year before, he's just been the best player in the league. Obviously, you got like Kevin Durant this year, and LeBron last year and whatnot. But as of right now, it's Nikola Jokic, and he was just amazing last year. 26 points per game, nearly 11 rebounds, 8 assists as a center. I mean, he's one of the best passing centers of all time. It's absolutely crazy what he's able to do with the basketball in his hands. That whole offense would fall apart without him in the middle because he just draws so much attention. Because not only can he shoot, not only can he post up and score, he can create for others and do what pretty much any other center in the league can't do. Really, the only knock on him is that he doesn't play great defense. Well, guess what? Neither does Steph, neither does Luka, right? So I think it's really between him and Steph right now. I mean, no disrespect to Luka, I just don't think that this year, especially during the regular season, he was on their level. Obviously, in the playoffs, he elevated his game to a whole different stratosphere, right? But I think right now, Nikola Jokic deserved that award.
Interesting picks from all you guys. Love Luka, Connor, but I would have to go with Jokic. Moving to the best NFL player, this award was won by none other than Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside him was Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald, and Derrick Henry for the nominees. Man, Tommy, I'm gonna throw it to you first.
Don't pull on the heartstrings. I'm missing Tommy today.
I know. It's like I have to go between you two every time. I'm gonna go with Connor first.
I'm gonna go with someone that's gonna pull on Matt's heartstrings. I'm gonna go with the guy who was standing next to Tom Brady on a golf course last week, and that's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this past year might have been the best Aaron Rodgers we've seen since 2012. Aaron Rodgers, when he won the MVP in the Super Bowl in that year. I mean, he was lights out. Or it wasn't 2012, it was 2011. 2011.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for a rubber band that I dropped. So go on.
Aaron Rodgers is definitely deserving of this award. MVP year for him. Yeah, Tom Brady, it's the name. It's another Super Bowl championship for him. He went to Tampa Bay and was able to get them a Super Bowl ring. But Aaron Rodgers played completely out of his mind, and he deserves best NFL player. I don't think there's any other discussion.
Don't mind me.
Well, Mikey, you are up. Who is your best NFL player?
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. I think he was the best player in the NFL this past year. I gotta agree with Connor. As much as I dislike Aaron Rodgers, I don't necessarily think he's the best player in the NFL. I still think that's Patrick Mahomes. But this past year was Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know. Tom Brady, he was really good. He probably had the quietest 4,040 touchdown season you'll ever see. And obviously he won the Super Bowl, and that's all fine and dandy as well. But still got to be Aaron Rodgers. I mean, without the Packers, they would be out of the playoffs. And I could say the same for Brady and the Bucks, but I think it really holds true in Green Bay. And we'll see what happens this year. He's a little skeptical about his future in Green Bay. We got to see what happens.
Mike, you good there? You got any allergies or what?
I don't know what's going on. I just have an allergic reaction to what? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers,
Luka.
I guess.
You've become allergic to Luka.
Luka, your cat. Not Luka Doncic.
Honestly, maybe he was on this desk last night and he was shedding a little bit. We gotta see. I'm already allergic to cats, but he's like a hypoallergenic cat.
Oh.
So I've been living with him so far. Anyways, Matt, go ahead.
It has to be Aaron Rodgers. I don't think there's another choice here, especially because Patrick Mahomes is not on that list, and you can make the argument that Patrick Mahomes would necessarily win best NFL player because he is the best NFL player. But if we're talking about the past year, it's Aaron Rodgers. He quite honestly had his best year. You can argue whether 2011 Aaron Rodgers or 2020 Aaron Rodgers was better, but it's very similar. It's very close, and I could honestly side a little towards 2020. And unfortunately, I think because Aaron Rodgers, all this skepticalism about him, I think that might have tarnished a lot. I think he could have been the Madden 2022. Yeah, 22. Forget it. It's like a year after. I think he could have been the Madden 22, but I think that they were worried that he might be traded in a different jersey.
Well, it's called the MVP edition, and they don't have the NFL MVP on it.
Don't even get me started. Listen, if we were ranting about Madden, I could go on. I think he could have probably won an ESPY or two. I don't know. You never know because there's a lot of rumors being flown out. I mean, there's a lot of jokes too. You know, I got a notification. I didn't watch the ESPYs, and I got a notification that Aaron Rodgers was getting trolled. I was like, okay, I have to see this. It said Captain America, and I got really confused because I totally forgot that Captain America was changed to Anthony Mackie and not Chris Evans. But he was trolling him, you know. What can you say? I can't argue. It was pretty funny.
All of the ESPY like opening jokes are so the best year was Peyton Manning, Durant. Undeniably.
It was Kevin Durant, Peyton Manning.
No, when Peyton Manning was like doing the jokes, it was hysterical.
Yeah, and the Kevin Durant meme.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It was right after Kevin Durant left. His snake move and left OKC. But any final thoughts on best NFL player? I could go on and on, so might as well stop there. Next award that we're going to go through is the best championship performance. Now, like I said, you got a lot of leeway here. You could take an individual or a team. I can't find the nominees for some reason, but I know the best championship performance was the LA Dodgers 2020 World Series. So with that being said, a lot of leeway here. Mike, I'm going to start with you. Unless you're going to sneeze, I'll start with Connor, but
I guess I'm yawning instead right now.
You go.
But I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. 2 years in a row where they won the Stanley Cup 4-1. Absolute dominance throughout each playoffs, back to back, 2 years in a row. It hasn't been done since the Penguins in 16-17, and it hasn't been done since the Blackhawks never won back to back, right? I think it was the Red Wings before that, the last team that won back to back in 06-07. But the Tampa Bay Lightning, 100%, more specifically Andre Vasilevsky, he was just the best goaltender in the whole wide world in both playoffs. And once again, he elevated his play a little bit more this past playoffs. And I'll go into that a little bit later. Just a little sneak peek for the end of the episode. But the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think that's the answer here. Just 2 seasons where they've just completely controlled the NHL. And no one can do anything about it. Honestly, they are just too good.
Connor.
For the best championship performance, I'm actually going to agree with the ESPY award going to the LA Dodgers. You know, they've been in the World Series the past couple of years, and they couldn't get over the hump. Obviously, they were part of the Houston Astros cheating scandal, all that stuff. They were part of that series when Houston was able to take home that trophy. But you know, they finally got over the hump. They had a very good championship performance there in LA. Obviously, it was a COVID-stricken season. What I think happened after the game, obviously with Justin Turner and all that stuff, was absolutely unacceptable. But we're talking about the on-field championship performance, and I do agree that that should go to the LA Dodgers.
I'm gonna throw a curveball here that you guys probably don't think I'm gonna be picking. Best championship performance, I'm gonna give to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Going into the Super Bowl, going up against Patrick Mahomes, obviously the Chiefs were, in my opinion, a heavy favorite. And with that offense, you would expect that with the Chiefs. Obviously, props to Mike for picking the Bucks because he was the only one right here. But with the Tampa Bay, they came in and defensively they played tremendous. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was running 200 yards backwards and forwards, just in general.
And sideways.
Yeah, and sideways. And sideways. So, yeah, their defense played tremendous. And the offense got the job done. So, I think that they deserve the best championship performance for that game. Tampa Bay Lightning, great pick, winning 2 Stanley Cups in a row. I mean, they just dominated the Canadians this past week and a half. But I'm gonna have to go with the Bucks here. Moving towards the best team, we're getting down to the last 3. Best team was won by Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm gonna have to check the list for best team. Tampa Bay, the Stanford Cardinals women's basketball team. They're not the Stanford Cardinals. They're the Cardinal. What the heck? Anyways, Baylor Bears NCAA men's basketball team, Alabama Crimson Tide NCAA football, Oklahoma Sooners NCAA softball, Seattle Storm WNBA, and the Dodgers in the MLB. So pretty much all the winning teams except the Lakers and the Lightning, which is that's just I gotta put. I would just put them all in if I was ESPN, but okay. So I went Connor, Mike. I'm gonna go with me first. I'm going to have to. I gotta go with Alabama Crimson Tide, because if you look at all these teams, the best team on that list was by far Alabama. I don't think it was a debate. An undefeated season looked almost better than the LSU Tigers. I mean, you can argue. I would pick LSU, but I think we did argue that, but very close in numbers. Connor?
This is where I'm going to put the Tampa Bay Lightning. I didn't pick them for best championship performance, but they are a team that went back to back in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, and they've won them both 4-1 in pretty demanding fashion. So for the best team, this is where I'm going to put the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Mike, I saw your face.
I don't know how you picked the Dodgers for the best championship performance, but then come to this category and pick the Lightning.
Well, because the Dodgers aren't the best team, in my opinion. They had the best championship performance in my eyes, but the best overall team all around is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
What was so great about their performance? What propelled them over the Lightning, in your opinion? The Lightning won 2 Stanley Cups in 5 games. The Dodgers won World Series in 6 games.
I understand that, but it was also the way that the Dodgers were able to overcome so many doubters and everything like that. They hadn't won a World Series in nearly 70 years. Then they came out and they played extremely well in a COVID-stricken season, in a shortened season. A lot of people have an asterisk next to that season, yet there was still a team standing at victorious at the end of the year through everything that was going on, COVID cases, players having to sit out, everything like that. And the way that the season was manufactured, and for them able to have a championship game, and for them able to win the championship after so many years of losing and being stricken by cheating Houston Astros, I think the best championship performance goes to the LA Dodgers, and the best team's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not going to apply with that. Oblige with that logic. I'm still going with the Lightning here. Just, I personally think the best professional team across all sports the past year.
It's not professional though. It's the best team. We got college too.
Okay, well,
I would agree with you on that.
Even if college, 2 Stanley Cups in a year, just like Connor said, pure dominance across 2 years. They did it in the bubble, and they did it in a normal season. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I would agree with you on best professional team. I don't know. Collegiately, Alabama was insane.
That's fair. I think that's one of the only teams that could compete with the Lightning.
For sure. I don't think any of the other teams would even really compete. Best female athlete. go to the nominees here. Where is it? I know, no, Naomi Osaka won it. Simone Biles, Amanda Nunes, and Breonna Stewart. All great athletes. I'll just say that first. Connor, what are you going to go with?
I'm going to agree with the ESPYs again and go with Naomi Osaka. She's only 23 years old, and she is the number one in women's tennis and is the first Asian player to hold the top ranking in singles, 4-time Grand Slam singles champion. And the biggest news about Naomi Osaka these past couple of months, obviously, is her allowing her, she withdrew from a tournament because of certain standards that were being held at the tournament that she didn't feel were appropriate. And she really used that as a platform for her to be able to speak out. She was fined. A lot of other, and I think it was an NBA player, I don't remember who, paid that fine for her. But at just 23 years old, how influential she has been for not only women in sports, but just the sports world in general. I'm going to go Naomi Osaka here for the best female athlete.
Mike?
I'm going to go with Simone Biles. Year after year, she just is by far the best gymnast in the world. Number one finish in the U.S. Classic, U.S. National Championship, in the Olympic trials this year. Number one in the World Champions in 2020. Team selection camp, national championships, U.S. Classic, Stuttgart World Cup. Simone Biles has just dominated the gymnastic world ever she burst onto the scene in her first Olympics in 2012 or 2016. 2016. Sorry, 2016. So ever since then, she's been by far and away the best gymnast in the world, and it's really not even close. And just her dominance continuing this past year, it's got to be her.
I'm gonna agree with Connor. I think SB's nailed this one right on the head. I think Osaka in the past year was just tremendous. I think tennis-wise, I think, tennis is dominated by Serena Williams. And I think that she really made a name for herself in the past year. When you'd ask me who's the best female tennis player, last year I would have said Serena Williams, but now I would contemplate Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka. She's just that good, and at a young age is terrific. Biles is tremendous. Amanda Nunes would make a great case for this award, and Breonna Stewart too. She actually went to a rival school of mine, so I'm not picking her, but a rival high school of mine, like 10 minutes down the way, which is I'm not picking her, but I'm gonna go with Osaka. I think this one was right. Finally making down the list, best athlete in the men's sports nominees: Tom Brady, Connor McDavid, Nicole Yokojan, like I mentioned, and Lewis Hamilton. Great 4 athletes. Mike?
It's got to be Connor McDavid, 100%. There's no competition here. This season was absolutely astronomical for him. If we put his 2021 statistics out to full 82 games, he has over 160 points, over 50 goals, and over 80 assists. It's absolutely ludicrous the gaudy stats he would put up in a full season. And I understand that his playoff performance was not impressive at all, right? But the fact of the matter is that he just displayed such a show of talent this whole season. No one was able to stop him. And I just got to go Connor McDavid. Once again, 2 points per game hasn't been done since like the 90s. So it's got to be Connor McDavid.
Connor?
I am going with El Nino Fernando Tatis Jr. What is that,
What
Mike?
the heck are you talking about?
What do you mean, what the heck am I talking about?
You just picked Ronald Acuna for the best baseball player.
Yeah, and the best male athlete is undoubtedly Fernando Tatis Jr.
Wait, Connor, theoretically, he would win the best MLB player if he's winning the best male athlete.
Yeah.
But both players are so influential and explosive in their sport, I needed to highlight both. Fernando Tatis Jr.
I have to go after you.
162 game average. He's averaging 50 home runs and 119 RBIs in a 162 game season, 185 hits with a 297 batting average. He is yet to play a full season in the MLB, and yet he's hit 22 home runs in his rookie year, 17 in a 60 game season, and 28 at the All-Star break for San Diego this year. The San Diego Padres 3 years ago were absolutely garbage in the National League. And now they are a team that everyone has to be talking about, everyone has to be watching out for. It is because of the explosiveness and firepower of Fernando Tatis Jr. at the shortstop position. The way he comes out onto the field and plays with such a fire every single game. Do I have to re-emphasize that he hasn't played a full year in the MLB yet, and he is the best player in the MLB?
Oh my gosh. I don't
50 home run average through 162 games with 119 RBIs, a 609 slugging with a 981 OPS.
Okay. Mike, I'm going to ask you this. Is he giving stats of this past year, or is this prior?
Are you like accentuating this season out to full 162 games, or are you just adding all the statistics?
I'm taking 2020 and 2021. He's only been in the MLB for 3 years.
I know. I was just asking for Matt's sake. All right, Matt, you can go ahead. Then we could discuss with Connor.
I don't even think Tatis is a top 3 pick, Connor. I hate to break it to you. I don't think Tom Brady should even be in the nominees. I hate to break it to you.
You guys are just saying this because you don't know the sport of baseball and what
Connor, you don't know the sport
what
of
are you
NHL.
talking
so I'll
about?
just go right back at you with that. Connor McDavid literally, Mike can give you those stats again. I'm not going to rattle that off. But if Connor McDavid played a whole single season, obviously COVID stopped. What?
I just said the same thing about Tatis. If he played a whole season, he's averaging 50 home runs a season.
Right,
50!
but Connor McDavid is literally shredding every stat. It's insane how great he is. He's literally solidified a top 3 all time after this season, in my opinion. He is insane. The amount of greatness that he plays in the sport of hockey. It's not even funny. It is incredible to watch this guy go. And when he started shredding, I mean, he got to 100 points in what, Mike? 100 points in unbelievable. It was like 60 games or 50 games. It was just incredible. I mean, I can't believe how great this athlete is. And I think Aaron Rodgers deserves, maybe second or third with that too for the year he's had at Green Bay. But no, I don't think Tatis is even, credible to pick. It was just, this is insulting, Connor. It's very.
How is it insulting? If we're talking about what Connor McDavid can do in a full season, how is it any different?
Right, but Connor McDavid,
talk about that he's lighting up every single stat. So is Tatis, averaging. He has 67 home runs, 158 RBIs, 47 stolen bases, a 297 batting average, a 372 on base percentage, 609 slugging, 981 OPS.
We also talk about what Connor McDavid did win the MVP, and I don't think Tatis has won any award in the past year.
He won a Silver Slugger.
Won a Silver Slugger. That's it.
Oh wow! Oh, good for him.
He played in a 60-game season, Matt.
So did Connor McDavid. How many games did the NHL play?
Yeah.
Close enough to 60.
Listen, the biggest difference between what Tatis and what Connor McDavid is doing right now, Connor, you'll sit first. He still has not played a full season. Tatis is absolutely amazing, right? But it's not like he's doing something that no one else has done in the modern era. Giancarlo Stanton has hit 60 home runs in the modern era. We've seen Aaron Judge, Pete Alonso hit over 50 home runs in their rookie years, all right? This isn't, it's absolutely phenomenal, but it's not, it's been done in the 21st century. No one has averaged as many points per game as Connor McDavid has in the 21st century. No other person has averaged over 1.8 points per game in the 21st century. And in fact, no one's even close. I'm scrolling down this list right now, and the closest one is Sidney Crosby, all the way down at 90 in 2010, 2011. Connor McDavid is all the way up in the 20s. In the modern era, this is absolutely unheard of for this dominance.
I mean,
over 30 goals, over 70 assists. It's Connor McDavid unquestioned. Unquestioned And Tatis does have an argument for the best player in the game, but his defense is still lacking. He has a negative defensive run saved. Okay. So Tatis is a phenomenal player, right? But if you're not going to pick him for the best MLB player, and I understand you want to highlight both athletes, I still don't think Tatis is the best MLB player, honestly. And
McDavid even won
this discussion right now. I love Tatis. He's going to be great for this game moving forward the next 10, 15 years, but it's McDavid. Go ahead,
McDavid even won the MVP, like I say, won the MVP trophy unanimously. The last time someone's done that is 39 years. 39. Do the math. How many, what is that? What year is that? Like 19, I don't know. We weren't born, so it was like 1970s, 1980s. I mean, come on. Probably it was Wayne Gretzky at that point was the last unanimous Hart Trophy winner. I mean, the guys, it's mind-boggling how great he is. Mind-boggling.
You can look at Fernando Tatis and not blow your mind every time you see him step onto a field. A couple weeks ago in Houston, he hit a ball over the train tracks in their stadium.
Cool.
That's at least 450 feet on a ball.
What do you want me to say, Connor? Like, that's incredible, but it's a freaking home run. It's
disrespectful for you to come onto here and say he's not even in question for one of the best male athletes. That it's disrespectful for me to even mention his name. That's ridiculous, and that's a terrible take for how explosive he has been and how much he has lit up the baseball field these last 2 years and has made baseball relevant again.
I mean, I think it's disrespectful you're talking him up this much and you wouldn't even have the audacity to put him as best MLB player. That is just, I don't understand the logic there at all, to be honest, either.
It is simply because both of them are such great athletes. I wanted Ronald Acuna to get a spotlight too because of how good of a young
Connor,
baseball player he is.
This isn't participation trophy awards. Like you give the best male athlete, if you're picking an MLB player, he best win the best MLB player. It's just pure logic there. That makes no sense at all. I get you're trying to highlight, but this isn't like the highlight awards. Like that's just where I don't understand your logic. And we can talk about this for hours.
Isn't this an opinion thing where I bring my picks and then that's what we do?
Yeah, but how does that make any sense? Where's the logic there?
The logic was that I wanted to talk about Ronald Acuna as well because of how explosive he is. But when you compare Ronald Acuna and Fernando Tatis is a better player.
So why didn't you pick? Oh my God. It just makes zero sense, Connor. I understand what you're trying to do, but that's not what that's not what an award system does.
So you see people out on the ESPYs and stuff like that bring home 3 ESPYs in one night? No, you don't.
Tom Brady literally theoretically just did.
No, the Tampa Bay Bucks did. It wasn't Tom Brady.
Tom Brady won
the best male athlete, the best NFL player, and theoretically best team that theoretically would go to Tom Brady
how do you say that? Because when you opened up this season, you said that Super Bowls don't have any relevance on the player's career. So how would you say?
Because theoretically, all the Buccaneers players
goes on to Tom Brady.
All the Buccaneers players win that award because they're a team and they won. It's a team. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Levante David, Antonio. Connor, they all won that award. You think just the front office wins that award?
No, absolutely not. But I'm absolutely so disgusted by the fact that you said that me mentioning Fernando Tatis is like disrespectful.
It is.
How is it disrespectful?
I think
Look
it
at
is.
the sport of baseball in San Diego just a couple years ago. They were garbage.
Connor, that's not the point.
He's not the whole thing that turned it around. Signing Manny Machado was a huge step for them. They still had Eric Hosmer. A lot of their other prospects, like Jake Cronenworth, were on their way up. Will Myers,
5 years ago.
Chris Paddock. They just trade for you, Darvish. I mean, come on. There's a lot more factors that go into this than just Fernando Tatis.
But you can't look at his numbers and just be undeniably not
I'm not
by what he's doing.
I'm saying he's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal player. He's one of the best players in the MLB. But the fact is, he still has flaws to his game, right? And once again,
you're telling me every time Connor McDavid steps out onto that ice, he is perfect? He plays a perfect game every single time he steps out.
I mean,
I'm
no,
not
every single
saying that.
athlete has
This
flaws
past
in their
season-
game.
This
But
past
that's
season,
what we're
he
going to
pretty much
highlight
did.
with an athlete like this is the flaws? That's disrespectful.
This past season, he pretty much did have a perfect season, to be honest. If I had to go out there as an NHL player and I had to say, okay, what's a perfect season to me? That's Connor McDavid's season. A unanimous MVP award, shredding all the stats. That's a perfect season to me.
But are people highlighting
Defensively,
every
he's a great
single flaw that he has, every single game that he steps out?
Listen,
Sure, Fernando Tatis may not be the best defensive shortstop in the MLB right now, but that doesn't discredit anything that he's doing on the offensive side of the ball.
I'm not discrediting anything he's doing on the offensive side. You have to
Then
take
how are you
everything
coming on
into
here and telling me
account.
that it's
You have to take
disrespectful for me to mention his name for the best male athlete?
Because I personally think there's better picks than Fernando Tatis. He's a great player, Connor. I'm not denying that, but I personally think there's much better picks to pick for Best Male Athlete award than Fernando Tatis.
He
in
is
my opinion.
22 years old, carrying the sport of baseball on his back.
Oh, no wonder why it's dying.
What do you mean? No wonder why it's dying. Are you kidding me?
Oh, come on, Connor. We know the sport of baseball is dying at this point.
And you're gonna, but why is that a point that
Connor.
you bring up when I say that it's being carried on Fernando Tatis'
Because
back?
you're bringing
Do
up
you
the
even
point that
watch
he's
us?
carrying baseball when this has nothing to do with it, to be honest. At this point, I mean, the impact on the sport, it's statistically the best male athlete in the past year. And statistically, that is Connor McDavid.
Well, I'll disagree with you there. I don't care. You're not going to get anything different from me, and it's absolutely ludicrous that you guys can say it's disrespectful for me to mention his name.
He might be in the top 10, maybe.
He's in.
Top
Yeah,
10.
I'll give him the top 10. I'll give him the top 10 there. I'll give him it.
You know, top 4 MLB players probably.
Who's
Anyway,
better than him right now, Mike?
You just said
I mean-
the best MLB player was Acuna, so
Yeah.
there's one.
I'll throw Acuna above him. Ohtani, Mike Trout, Jacob DeGrom, Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts, get the out of here.
What do you mean?
Get out of here.
I'm not getting out of here. I'm staying. And I'm staying for a long time too. All right.
We got go of the week coming up. I mean, we could go on and on, but the time is ticking. The time is ticking, and Connor just keep getting more red. He should have got more sleep, maybe. But we got the go of the week coming up next. It should be a great one. We'll see you guys next. Welcome back to Go Chat. We are back after a heated debate on the ESPY's Best Male Athlete Award. If you skip that, should go back. It was pretty funny, to be honest. But we're going to the Go to the Week. And last week, the winner was Chris Paul. And Chris Paul's win was awarded to Mike. Mike, congrats on that win. Looking to go back-to-back today?
Of course, always.
Who do you got?
I'm going with Andre Vasilevsky, the Conn Smythe winner for the 2021 NHL playoffs. For the people who don't know what that award is, it's just basically the MVP of the playoffs. And no one deserved it more than the best goaltender in the world, Andre Vasilevsky. 23 games played, 16 wins, 937 save percentage, not even a 2 goals against, 1.9 goals against, and 5 shutouts in 23 games against playoff teams. That's absolutely ridiculous. He had 5 shutouts all of the 2021 regular season. He didn't even have 5 shutouts in the 2019-2020 season where he only had 3 in 52 games. So 5 shutouts in 23 games is absolutely insane. Goals saved above average, 12.8. I mean, quality start percentage, almost 70%, excuse me. 55% is the average. It's Andre Vasilevsky here, no doubt. He was the best player in the NHL playoffs on the biggest stage, and he had a shutout to seal the Stanley Cup in Game 5, and he deserves it the most.
Connor, are you going to go with Tatis or got another baseball player in mind?
No, I'm going to go with another baseball player. I really hope that you guys call this one disrespectful because I'll straight up just leave the call. Garrett Cole pitched absolutely lights out in his return to Houston on Saturday night. A complete game shutout, 3-hit effort, 12 Ks, the most pitches thrown in an MLB game this season with 129. It was the most animated I think I've ever seen a pitcher on the mound talking to his manager. Maybe outside of Trevor Bauer when he threw the ball over the the center field ball when Terry Francona started walking out. But Boone walked out with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Garrett Cole, he wanted to finish that game, and you could tell he did not want Chapman to come in. He wanted to be the one to set those Houston Astros down, and he did it, and he did it incredibly well. A home run from Judge in the 3rd inning was the difference factor in this game. The Yankees won 1-0, but Garrett Cole pitched an absolute gem. The first hit didn't come until the bottom of the 5th inning, and then I think there was 2 hits in the 5th, and then the 3rd hit came in the top of the 9th. Garrett Cole pitched absolutely lights out, and really shows that Spider Tack isn't all that it's meant to be. His pitches were moving like crazy. 9 innings, 3 hits again, 12 Ks. Absolutely lights out for Garrett Cole.
Did he have another game that week? I know he pitched yesterday, Saturday. Did he have any other games?
I don't think he did. Let me look.
He could have, and he just doesn't want to highlight it.
No,
I mean, Garrett Cole. I mean, I'm glad to see him finally do well, to be honest. I mean, isn't he having a rough year?
No, he's not.
He's been rough as of late up until.
I mean,
now.
for what he's paid, it's a rough year.
He's 9-4.
Oh my god. Anyways, Matt, who's your go of the week?
What, Mike?
You're really using a pitching record to justify Garrett Cole's performance?
He has a 2.3 ERA.
There you go. That's something.
That's damn good.
That is really good.
Oh.
Anyways, I was incorrect. I was about to tell you that he got shelled against the Mets last Sunday, but technically that was before our episode dropped, so that doesn't really count for us. Anyways, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I heard that he was having a rough year. I didn't have anything to go behind that. But for my go of the week, I'm going to go with Messi. I mean, I got to go with the greatest, in my opinion. You got Ronaldo versus Messi. I think Messi's better, the greatest soccer player. Finally, at the age of 34, wins his first international title with Argentina. Argentina beat Brazil 1-0 in the Copa America final. And Messi, I mean, the moments after that game win, they picked up Messi and they were just throwing him up in the air. It was just a very, very, very good moment to see in sports. I mean, Messi long deserved a title with Argentina. I mean, it's been rough. The players around him have been not as great as Messi, if you want to say that. But to see him win a title, obviously the World Cup in 2014 against Germany, losing that. But he's my go of the week for winning his first title with Argentina. I think it might be a popular pick too. I think we got really great go of the weeks. It was tough to pick. I mean, I had a couple backups too with Ashley Barty. Shout out to her winning the Wimbledon. I mean, there's another Wimbledon coming up. Bryson DeChambeau, Aaron Rodgers, great performance on Tuesday. What are you rolling your eyes for, Connor? You not a DeChambeau fan?
Like, did you actually watch it? Aaron Rodgers did not hit like any good golf shots.
He nailed like every putt.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, they were playing. What's it called? Captain and crew or whatever, right? With the team, like.
They played alternate shot.
They used all Aaron Rodgers' drives. You know that, right?
Well, the drives that I saw, they went way left into the woods.
Well, Aaron Rodgers played terrific. He outplayed Tom Brady.
I disagree with you there wholeheartedly.
I mean, did you see the guy's putting? It was insane. It was tremendous. What? Aaron Rodgers played. What are you talking about?
Tom Brady put the ball 5 feet from the hole on a par 4.
I mean, dude, Aaron Rodgers played tremendous, especially in the bottom 9. He played great. That's when they started to take a lead over it, too. I mean, I don't know, Connor.
The back 9. You don't even know golf terms, and you're trying to out-talk me in golf.
Oh, I can outplay you in golf for sure. That's a fact.
Yeah, sure.
That's a fact. I hear you're pretty rough out there, Connor. I hear you're hitting around 50 and 60 on 9.
Where do you hear that?
That's what the birdie said. That's what the birdie told me, buddy. I don't know. Aiden Bone might be talking behind your back or something. You did say he had a big forehead, but
Not wrong.
I'm just playing with you, buddy. We need to get out the lakes. We need to get out the lakes sometime. See if I actually could outplay you. I don't know. Probably not. But the match, go chat the match. Be on the lookout for that if we ever get Tommy out on the green.
Probably go bowling. Tommy with Kellison bowling.
Oh,
For
yeah.
those of you that don't know, Tommy bowled in high school and is actually really good. I think he bowled like a few perfect games in his season, if I'm not mistaken.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up the episode?
I miss Tommy. That's it.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see what Tommy would have to say for this episode.
I think we know what Tommy would have had to say.
But how many words would he get in? If
I
between
would've
us
let him
screaming, I don't think he'd really get in any words. I mean, he's one of the nicest debaters around, you know.
Well, when you're talking about one of the best baseball players currently, and you guys are disrespecting him, I think Tommy.
I mean, I thought you said Acuna was the best baseball player. Am I wrong there?
So you just.
Okay. Well, Mike, you FaceTime Tommy?
I'm trying to get him on the phone right now, but I have a feeling that he's doing something for his internship right now. I just want to call him and get his opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So meanwhile, while we wait,
I'm available.
So I search Aaron Rodgers golf to see what these news articles are saying, Connor. Aaron Rodgers hits incredible shot at Lake Tahoe. Aaron Rodgers could retire and join the PGA with these tour skills. Aaron Rodgers gains national attention for his golf skills. Aaron Rodgers drains an incredible shot at the PGA Tour.
Well, they're going to be saying
At
that
the PGA
because it's an NFL player who's on the spotlight playing golf, and he played it like he played okay.
He played great.
Come on, Connor.
Connor.
He did not outplay Tom Brady. Bryson outplayed Phil, and that's what differentiated this match.
Aaron Rodgers came up clutch against Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson.
Well, I guess that's the only thing he could come up clutch against Tom Brady in. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap up this episode of Go Chat. Thank you guys for sticking along this far. Comment down below if you got to the end of the episode. We really appreciate it. As always, hit that like button. It really helps us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on all our Instagram, socials, Twitter. We're going to get our Twitter back up and running. We're going to get our TikTok back up and running soon. We have a lot of big things coming up. So stay tuned. And as always, peace out and stay safe.